Hello, 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 my lovelies. Countess. Remember, the 5th of November. Yes, today is the 5th of November, guys. Guy Fawkes Day out in the UK. So get your bonfires going and have a ball if you guys are in the UK. Today we're going to be talking about another individual who sought to sort of bring down the establishment in a sense, Mark David Chapman. I figured that since we went over Michael Abram and, what his role in George Harrison's assassination was, and we got amazing results, right? We're going to take a look at the cards today and see what they have to say about Mark David Chapman. I have been reading this book, Who Killed John Lennon by Fenton Bressler. Very, very good book. I highly recommend any of you who are interested in the whole mind control topic and how it works. This book reveals that Mark David Chapman spent a lot of time, not only does he come from a military background, he spent a lot of time interacting through his life at the YMCA. YMCA is said to be another front for the CIA, FBI. It's like, why are there always these crazy acronyms, right? It's always just letters. I just find that funny how any corporation or service or organization, I should say, use anagrams so much. I think that's funny. I guess it's so the general dumbed down population can remember who they are and all that. I don't know. Today, guys, though, we're going to go over this article that I found, and it is an article from the National Enquirer. And for those of you out there who don't live in the States, the National Enquirer, ever since I was little, has always been regarded as a sort of fringe conspiracy theory, sort of outlandish, unbelievable stories, right? Like Marilyn Monroe found on the moon, pregnant with Elvis's baby, stuff like that. Or I gave birth to an alien's kids. It's just stupid shit like that, right? But they're also known to print sort of counter mainstream narratives. And that's one thing that I think it's worth looking at with, this rag in particular, because they do share the unpopular opinions. They do provide an alternative to what the mainstream news outlets pump down our throats every single day and basically beat us with their plans. And yeah, so anyways, I do digress as usual. Let's read this this article. So the title is Stunning Claim Chapman Was Brainwashed to Kill Lennon. Director J. Edgar Hoover set the wheels in motion for John Lennon's assassination. That's the claim of two journalists who believe Hoover and the CIA were terrified of Lennon's views, and nerdy loner Mark David Chapman was a mind-controlled patsy, brainwashed into shooting the rock star. In separate books, author Fenton Bressler, who I just highlighted, and Phil Strongman each argue the CIA recruited Chapman as a sleeper assassin to silence the former Beatle. Chapman acted like a zombie when he shot the superstar on December 8th, 1980, and then calmly waited for the cops to arrest him. Bressler's book, Who Killed John Lennon, he says he looked as if he could have been programmed. That's what the NYPD detective Arthur O'Connor said to Bressler after interrogating Chapman. So coincidentally, the first person to speak to Chapman after the shooting was doorman Jose Perdomo, a Cuban exile who reportedly participated in the CIA's failed Bay of Pigs invasion and was an alleged former agency operative, according to Strongman's book, John Lennon, A Life, Times, and Assassination. Hoover first drew the bullseye on Lennon's back after the Peaceniks' 1971 benefit concert in Michigan led to the humiliating release of a jailed counterculture leader who was serving 10 years for marijuana possession. From then on, both the FBI and CIA hounded the imagined singer, placing him under surveillance, tapping his phone lines, and vowing to deport him. By 1972, Lennon felt so intimidated, he told humorist Paul Krasner, quote, "If anything happens to Yoko and me, it was not an accident," unquote. It was Lennon's ability to subjects that terrified Hoover, Bressler said. He was viewed as a dangerous radical who needed to be stopped. Bressler wrote, even after Hoover died in 1972, his FBI cronies continued to follow his orders, insiders told the National Enquirer. The Beatle continued to be seen as a threat to America's core conservative values and was taken out in a plot based in part on Hoover's successful blueprint to assassinate President John F. Kennedy in 1963. All because Kennedy wouldn't back up the Bay of Pigs invasion. Yeah, he knew it was a bad idea from the start. Anyways, in the December 2nd, 2019 edition, the Enquirer exposed Hoover's role in JFK's death and how shooter Lee Harvey Oswald was set up to take the fall for the murder. Chapman's lawyers were reportedly stunned when he pleaded guilty against their advice in a closed courtroom. He was sentenced to 20 years to life and has forever been regarded as the crackpot who acted alone. It was a conspiracy. Yes, and we seem to find loads of conspiracies surrounding this entire subject, this entire plot. And what's funny to me, though, is that, the CIA were so determined to get Lennon out, but yet it's their organization backed by, the money of the elite and powerful who set this whole thing in motion back in the 60s, brought the counterculture to the forefront, and screwed all of us while they did it. Who would have known that me, somebody who was born like 20 years after the counterculture movement, has been affected all through my life with these sort of loosey-goosey, do what you want to do, man, whatever turns you on, whatever makes you feel good kind of attitudes. And from a young age, I've always been one who has been sort of a selfless person. I put others' needs before mine. So I've never seen this sort of logic in doing what you want to do all the time. Plus, I am accountable to my Lord Yeshua's, covenant. And I stick to those principles and values in my own personal life. Yeah, I just find it all ironic. It's, they were trying to take out an individual who ultimately they created. It's just a really messed up web of lies, isn't it? Yes. And so today, my friends, we're going to get into the cards again, cleaned the deck for this reading. So we, shouldn't have any issues with like repeated, well, we might see repeated people in this video like we always do. However, we won't have the possibility of the same cards reappearing just because they weren't shuffled correctly. Anyways, as always, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you stick with me till the end, and we'll see what the cards have to say about this conspiracy, about Mark David Chapman possibly being a mind-controlled sleeper assassin who carried out Lennon's assassination. So, as always, my friends, I will see you on the other side. As always, take care, and yeah, I'll see you guys at the table. Bye. All right. Welcome back to the table, guys. As always, I welcome everyone and anyone to my table. Let's figure out this mystery together. It's not that big of a mystery, but I guess what we're looking for today, cards, is a sort of validation on the claims that Chapman, Mark David Chapman to be precise, was a mind-controlled sleeper assassin to kill John Lennon. We want to know, also, I hate the fact that The Catcher in the Rye, is said to be the book that programmed Chapman. That is one of my all-time favorite books, way before I knew about, Chapman or John Lennon's assassination. This was not a freak accident. Chapman was not just, a lone shooter crackpot. That's what they do in every single fucking case. They, pull off these feats that only multiple people together could pull off, yet they blame a lone shooter patsy for the entire event. It is a sort of go-to for these organizations, and it's starting to get kind of old. It's starting to get very suspicious after, it's gotta stop. But it won't. It's gonna keep on going and keep getting worse. Okay, cards, so tell us about Mark David Chapman. Let us know what we need to know. What don't we know about this situation of him murdering John Lennon in cold blood. And I find it super interesting to learn that the doorman was a CIA operative. Isn't that convenient, right? He could have been the one to say the word that triggered Chapman. It's so likely because of that little tidbit. He's the first person who spoke to Chapman after the murder had occurred. He was the only, he wasn't the only witness, but he was the only, close range witness to the whole affair. And, ugh, poor John, man. He was looking good. He got kind of back to his rockabilly teddy boy style, which I personally love, love, love. You know, his hair was like a fucking turban, or whatever they said about George's hair. I love it. Anyways, poor John Lennon. Poor John Lennon. So cards, what do we need to know about this whole situation? What do we need to know? Please tell us if there's anything we don't know, or validate what the hell went on. All right, guys, I'm just about ready. I'm feeling that the cards getting hot. Give me just a couple more shuffles and we will lay them down and see what they have to say about this whole thing. You know, I'm constantly surprised at these tarot readings because they're just, I don't know if it's luck or if it's actually, you know, because the information has wanted to come out for so long. And it finally is coming out. And I just am amazed at how many validations and answers we have gotten from these cards. So last shuffle, guys. Tell us about Mark David Chapman and his role in this murder of John Lennon. John Lennon's murder. Okay. We are ready to go, guys. Let me just... I say we're ready to go, and then I do another shuffle, but I am trying to be thorough. All right, let's see what they have to say. Very first card that we put down, the fucking High Priestess. Hello, my love. Welcome to the table. El Diablo. No, Temperance in reverse. Holy shit, the King of Cups in reverse. Whoa, this is super intense. Oh my God, I was not expecting to be, you know, usually we're like gently led into it. No, not today. Not today, my friends. Oh my God. This is so fucking crazy. Excuse my language, guys, but man, I'm wigged out right now. Okay, let's do the other row. The Two of Cups under the Priestess. The Two of Wands, another two. The Five of Swords under Temperance. Oh. The Six of Pentacles. Interesting, you guys. This is a trip. My gut is already going bananas. So, oh my goodness, guys, this is this is really a lot for a Sunday morning. But it's what I set out to find out. So let's get started. All right, guys, so we do have two numerical twos on the board. Two twos. The theme, and we have Miss High Priestess. So the theme here is duality of, to a certain extent. There is a dualistic sort of vibe to this spread. So we'll see how that plays out. Starting with Miss Priestess. Again, guys, what have we said about her? She represents the mysteries. She represents the truth. She's holding the Torah in her hand. She represents duality. In the Rider-Waite-Smith cards, she is sat on a throne in between two pillars, Boaz and Hakim, and those are the pillars of duality. One black, one white, right? Ooh, so that could mean that there were two sides to Chapman. I don't know. Let's continue. El Diablo next to it, he gives off the vibe of, obviously he is all about bondage. He's about addictions, but he also is about violence. Violence and aggression paired with these guys. Ordered violence from her. Temperance in reverse shows that there is an imbalance somewhere. Could be like going hand in hand with the devil. Temperance is upright, is, the balancing between good and evil, right? When in reverse, it is showing disharmony, showing a lack of patience. So this could even be like urgency. We're not on an even kill here. That ties into duality too. The good side and the bad side, we're not being equal. So going on with the King of Cups in reverse. Oh my God, guys. This is Chapman. This is Chapman because the King of Cups in reverse is showing a gentleman who is completely run by his emotions. It actually signals repressed emotions. You're bottling up your point of view, your opinion, your feelings. You're bundling them all up inside, and there is a 105% chance you're going to have an outburst of some sort. So, tying in with the temperance, that is where the imbalance could come from. Too much emotions being repressed, repressing yourself, repressing, everything. We've gotten this card in relationship to Bill before, actually the Ace of Cups in reverse, and that's really like, ooh. But this shows a man who is not himself. We'll see how that goes into, but I see that as the High Priestess had something to do with the violence that was ordered to be executed by this one who is unable to get his shit together, basically. Okay, so let's go down to the Two of Cups again. We got this one in the Abram reading. It's showing like the union of two entities. It can be, like a relationship. It can signal ideas. It can signal people coming together. It can signal an agreement between two people. And that's how I saw it with Abram. That's how I'm seeing it here. Because under the High Priestess, the mysteries, even the devil, this goes in with the duality of the situation. There was an agreement to order this on and use him as a tool. An agreement backed up by those guys. Again. So, okay, Two of Wands. I know, and this is very interesting. In the case of George's assassin, Abram, we had this one upside down, which showed us the failed attempt to actually kill George. Well, in this reading, he's upright. So Two of Wands indicates, you're holding the world in your hands and you're looking at the different goals and achievements you can achieve. It is achievement. It is the success of something, tied in with El Diablo, tied in with the violence. The violence, it did the trick. The plan was fulfilled as far as Lennon went. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, the Five of Swords. This is like the combat sword, the combat card. You know, this is a, again, it's a card about victory. You know, you have won against all of your opponents. You know, these are all of their swords from the opponents you killed. Success. There was some sort of imbalance, I believe, in Chapman that allowed him to become this sort of confident and capable person, capable of achieving said goals because of his imbalance. Snap. Okay, the Six of Pentacles. This is always seen as the charity card, and or kind of like the give and take. You know, you get what you give, and it's all in equal amounts. However, the Temperance card in reverse shows this to be, you know, this guy is, he's getting what he's giving to from this organization. Somehow I see that as the organization paying him, or the organization blessing him with some sort of gift or tantalizing opportunity. Oh my God, guys, this is, oh, I don't know what to say anymore. This is all Chapman. This is all about how he was an unstable individual who got taken advantage of by, boo, boo, boo. Yes, she paid out to get these plans executed. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's see what the other cards have to say. Wow, guys. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, another two. This is the Two of Swords in reverse. Oh, interesting. There's the Nine of Pentacles and the King of Swords in reverse. Okay. These are interesting cards. Let's do the next row. The Four of Swords. Oh. The Page of Swords reversed. Lots of swords here. And Strength. The Will card. The card of somebody's, you know, free will or willpower. So looking at this, we have another two. There is a strong vibe of duality here. And what my gut is telling me is it's the duality of Chapman. You know, he, on the surface, he seemed like a normal, average Joe, but there was another side to him that was programmed. Okay, so the Two of Swords, though, that signals a sort of, it's number one, a very hard choice, and you're not sure what the outcome will be on either side. So it's showing sort of hesitancy. It's showing a delay in the plan. The Nine of Pentacles is showing somebody who has gained financial power, basically. They are financially stable. They've, you know, come to the point where they can look at the hard work they've done and see all of the success that they have acquired. It's also sort of self-reliance and independence. You know, all of this money has brought you that sort of confidence and independence. The King of Swords in reverse is interesting because, yes, it can signal another gentleman on the board who is lost in his emotions. However, I find this card to be interesting in this entire spread because, you know, in reverse, this king is a tyrant. He is a manipulative man who misuses his mental power or tries to prey on the mental power of others. I find it interesting. There's a butterfly under his sword here in this card. I'll show you close up. See a little butterfly? Yeah. I find that interesting, like an interesting sort of symbol. You know, butterfly represents transformation. The King of Swords, he could even be, you know, usually he's not loud, he's not boisterous when in reverse. He is a quiet power, sort of behind the scenes, if you will. Hello, hello, hello. Yes. I don't even have to say it anymore. Okay, so the Four of Swords. This card generally, you know, it shows somebody laying down in a bed, but the weapons of war are hanging up on the wall or hanging over the individual. And so that's showing, you know, this is a time for retreating. This is a time to heal and to get ready to fight again. And with the Two of Swords in reverse, it's showing that these delays and hesitancies are coming from this sort of convalescing, sort of not ready to get out on the battlefield necessarily. They need some time to psych themselves up, if you will, to fight another day. Interesting. Page of Swords in reverse, showing that there is a block in new ideas coming forth that contribute to this financial stability. It can even show a sort of anxiety or nervous energy in relation with this sort of financial independence. Oh my goodness. Okay, going. Oh, the Strength card, right, guys? And the Strength card is pretty much the card of the will. It is representing your willpower. It's representing action. It's representing complete success. Partnered with the King of Swords in reverse, it's showing the quiet power. Power is in control, and the will of this quiet power will be successful and it will happen. So what I see this cheer as, guys, is actually like Chapman's, you know, he went to NYC once. He was ready to do it, ready to try to kill Lennon, but he sort of backed out of it, said he couldn't do it. So he flew back home to Hawaii for a little while. That's your hesitancy, your delay in the plan. He could have been financially compensated by this quiet power to act out this sort of, where is it? The attack, the Five of Swords. Again, so it's just, he psyched himself out, you know, he backed out. So he like went back to Hawaii. He's taking a break. He's trying to recharge his power, his confidence, so that he, and this represents like he was nervous, he was anxious, he was uncertain about collecting the money from the quiet power. But ultimately, they succeeded. You know, ultimately, the plan went through, and we all know that. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. As always, it's just a trip to see what these cards have to say. Okay, so let's go. We're almost to the end here. Let's see what the final cards have got to say. We have the Nine of Cups reversed, another 9. The Six of Cups in reverse. Okay. That's very odd. Again, 6 and 9. Duality. Yes. Ace of Cups in reverse. The Wheel of Fortune. Oh, wow. Okay, guys. So, Nine of Cups in reverse. Usually when this card is upright, it's showing somebody who is completely content to be by themselves. It's a very selfish card. But in reverse, it's showing the opposite. It's showing somebody who is very insecure. They are not necessarily selfish, but they're also not selfless. Well, I guess that would tie into the whole mind control thing, right? Being selfless. The King of Cups in reverse kind of showed us that one. Interesting. Partnered with the Six of Cups in reverse, the Childhood card. However, this card in reverse signals like a sort of obsession, regret of what once was, you know, even like a sort of soured nostalgia about what happened back in the day. And I'm not exactly sure how that ties in. A lot of cup energy. This last here was a lot of sword energy. But this whole spread has been dominated by the cups. Ace of Cups is showing the emergence of beautiful emotions. My cup runneth over. You know, everybody take a sip. And that could tie into like selflessness, yes, but this over sort of exposure of emotion has caused an insecurity in this individual, who I believe this is Chapman. In the Wheel of Fortune, obviously, that is the, again, give and take in the world. It is the Wheel of Karma. Wheel of Karma. Paired with, and also it's like fortune, success. You know, you did it. But with this card above it, I'm just getting like I feel like it's been blocked to a certain extent. Maybe that's like the delay or hesitancy, because the Six of Cups in reverse is just showing somebody who's like obsessed with the past. And that could tie into their karma. I don't know. This cheer is a bit confusing, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I can't, properly read all of the cards, and that's me, I'm being honest. As a tarot reader, I don't pretend to know what I don't know. So if there are any other readers out there who want to weigh in on those cards, please do, because as always, I like to hear your opinions, and I like to kind of get a different perspective of what I'm looking at right now. So the last card, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Again, okay, reversed. This is showing, a woman. A woman who has lost everything, has lost all of her earthly possessions. She's lost her, she's just, this represents loss in the material world. So, thinking about this more and more, she also represents somebody, because she's lost everything, she has become detached from reality. She has become this person who has turned inward and is selfish. And that's interesting, because the Nine of Cups in reverse is showing the opposite, the selflessness of a person, somebody who isn't, is not happy with themselves as a person. So I just find this one very interesting, because it can show a total detachment from reality. And I do believe that is what Chapman did. And he was programmed to do so, right? He obviously could have been a lone shooter. However, he had a friend there, Mr. Jose, what's his last name? Perdom, as a CIA operative who could have triggered Chapman into doing it. So who knows exactly what the real story behind this hit was, but we can deduce by these cards it was a hit that was ordered by these guys again, and it was successful, and it left Chapman a broken and insecure, anxious wreck. Somebody who detached themselves completely from their reality. Okay, guys. I'm done with this reading. Please, as always, give me your thoughts and opinions on the cards, on the information at hand, because I always love hearing them. Again, my lovelies, thank you if you are here with me till the end. I appreciate it. And as always, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
But though they may be parted, there is still a chance.